Hi, I'm Jim Shaw from the Colonial Times and LexMedia. I'm here today. It is Thursday, April 16th, and I'm here with a member of the Select Board, Joe Pato, former chair of the Select Board. Joe's been with us quite a few times now on our updates, and we're pleased to have you with us again today, Joe. Thanks for being here with us.
Happy to be here with you.
Great. Well, let's talk. At the top of these discussions, we always talk about the number in Lexington. Where is that number today? So
today, the number reported is 160 presumed positive cases, and it's a small increase from yesterday, which was 151, and
right.
150 the day before that.
Yeah, well, hopefully those numbers won't continue to jump. I know that there was a significant jump because the tests were coming in from some of the senior residential communities. So
that's right. And the National Guard was very active in helping conduct tests at the senior living centers, and that created a bump. But the reality is we should expect continued increases until we reach a peak.
Right. And people can get that information on the town website, lexingtonma.gov, and they can get a lot more. They can get other information and some help and assistance and all of that. Why don't we talk to folks about that?
Right. So I think it's really important for people to know where they can go get reliable information. And the town is doing a great job of putting out information on the website. It's lexingtonma.gov/COVID-19, all one word. And that'll get you to the page, which then has information about what the current status is, recommendations from the CDC, from the state, and then pointers to all sorts of information for seeking help, offering help, how to take care of yourself at home, how to take care of your family members. So this really is something that we recommend people go visit on a regular basis as they look at things. And it includes pointers to other pages like Lex Health, which is a series of references to organizations in town that provide different kinds of help for getting groceries for people, help with financial information, unemployment information, things like that. So that's directly accessible from that COVID-19 page. And I'll point out that the Massachusetts Municipal Association uses Lexington's page as one of its model pages for other communities to make sure that they're getting information across. I'm proud of what our staff has done.
Well, you should be. And, in this community too, there are so many great people, organizations that are stepping up in very profound ways, whether it's to help, create masks or other PPE, just things in general, raising money, supporting other organizations, supporting the Fund for Lexington. As usual, folks in Lexington are making the best of a bad situation and really finding generosity and humanity. So, but there are other things going on. It's not all bad news out there.
That's right. I mean, we need to step back and think, there are good things, and I'd like to focus on a few of them today.
Sure.
One is an activity that is being put together for students, young people K to 12. It's a hackathon, Lex Hackathon, for COVID-19. And what this is all about is having young people and their families think about what kind of issues arise in the community and where might they be able to help. Can they create something? It could be an app, it could be a web page or site, it could be some process that isn't an application, but a way of doing things that makes life more comfortable. And this is a competition, just to make things a little more exciting. It's a little bit like a science fair. It will be going on at the end of April from the 24th through, what's the date? Through the 26th. It'll be a 2-day hackathon activity, but there's milestones before that where students will put together a plan and they'll submit it to get some feedback. Like a science fair, there will be judges when the final results are in place, and I will be one of those judges reviewing it, and there'll be a few prizes for the best submissions.
Well, that's exciting.
Right, so that should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. And, and I know there are a lot of young minds in this town that are very, I can say I'm never at a loss. Well, I should say I'm constantly amazed is what I'm trying to say at the level of curiosity that these young folks have in Lexington and their desire and the sort of the drive they have to sort of see these projects through. I don't remember it like that when I was a kid here in Lexington. It's a different time, but I'll tell you, it's heartwarming to see these young folks just sort of engage this and really take it and run with it. So, the science fairs, I'm always amazed every year at the science fairs, the things that the kids come up with. So this should be really something else. Yeah.
It is. And then let me transition to another activity, which is, again, family-oriented. And this is remembering that next week is Earth Week.
Right.
It'll be the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And there will be all sorts of activities that can be done remotely. So there is a website for this. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to get you the string, so maybe after I'll offer a pointer so that you can put it up on the on LexMedia's site. But it'll be a series of activities that people can join in on and celebrate the planet and think about what we can do to make our lives more sustainable and preserve the planet for our future generations. So I think that'll be an exciting activity as well, and it'll be all sorts of project-based activities like creating art for the event and getting displays virtually.
That's great. I think I didn't realize it was 50 years that Earth Day has been in here. I know it's been a long time, but we've been having this discussion about climate change over the last few years, and anything we can do to sort of bring people together to sort of continue this dialogue about the need to preserve our environment and be conscious of about how we treat our planet is really important. So this really should be a fun event as well, and it's another thing that the families can come together and do, at a time when they're sort of all confined and together. Celebrating Earth is a wonderful thing. So.
Right. I think these are examples of constructive activities that we can do as families of all ages, and keep our spirits up and our thinking in all sorts of constructive directions. Especially
with the good weather. I know we got a little tickle with the little dusting this morning with some snow, but as the weather gets better, it's getting nicer out there, and this is really something you can do. Another event coming up next week, which is really meaningful to us here in Lexington, National Library Week. Is that
that's right?
You were saying? Yeah.
It's as you know, I'm the chair of board of trustees at Cary Library, and we are very proud of the Cary Library. And while as residents we can't go and visit that magnificent facility, it is very active during the closure. The librarians are working from home and producing all sorts of virtual events. If you go to the library's website, carylibrary.org, you will find references to virtual storytelling hours. There is a YouTube channel where these are broadcast live. There are book clubs that there are more book clubs than there used to be, which are meeting virtually and coordinated by the library. And the reference librarians are still available to do research for people, and they're actually doing a wonderful job. And the fact that next week is National Library Week is a bonus, so we can recognize them and thank them for their efforts.
And I imagine it's an important day in your house, because isn't your wife Jerry Zeter, isn't she very active on the foundation?
She is. She used to be the president.
Right.
She was term limited and is no longer on the board. But she
Oh, okay.
served on that board for 6 years. So she was there 12 years.
That's a
It
long
is
time.
a big institution
Mhm.
for our family.
Yeah, that's great. Well, the Cary Library has served this community so well, and Corin is a great librarian, and the whole staff over there
Right.
is fantastic, and it's such a great resource. And it's a real gem. So many people, the community, it has become so important in the everyday life of this community. That's one of the things I know that we're all looking forward to when things get back a little bit more normal, being able to get over to the library and be there and appreciate it more, and make good use of it.
Absolutely.
And it is easy, like you say, you just go on the website and you can find all of these great events. So thanks for mentioning that. I know that that the Board of Selectmen had a discussion earlier, and some decisions were made about tax due dates. So why don't we, before we close out, why don't we talk a little bit about that and let people know what kind of extensions they have and what kind of forgiveness they have in terms of, penalties and interest and all of that.
Right. So the Emergency Act, state law that was passed just about 10 days ago now, had a provision that allowed towns to defer the due date for taxes and delay when they send out the quarterly tax bills. For Lexington, we had already sent them, so they were sent out with a May 1st due date.
Right.
But the board has deferred that date to June 1st. So if you haven't paid yet, you can wait until June 1st if cash flow is an issue for your family. And possibly more importantly, that special act also allows communities to defer and not charge interest on late payments. So any tax bill or fee that was due after the beginning of this emergency declaration, which I believe was March 10th, but that information is on the town website, won't incur interest payments until after the end of June.
Right.
That gives a grace period where you won't be accruing extra payments if you don't have the cash on hand to pay. These bills will be due. And they'll start accruing interest after June 30th, but you do have a couple of month window.
It's a little breather. I think everybody's feeling the pinch, and looking around at a lot of organizations and like local government, giving folks a little respite, a little break from having to, sort of shell out everything all at once. I think it makes a difference for a lot of people. That's what I'm hearing out there. And little by little, I think, the money's coming in from the federal government. I'm hearing little anecdotal stories of people getting a little bit here and there, and the checks are sort of arriving in their bank accounts. So hopefully there'll be a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. But I think it's a great thing that the town is doing. And I'm sure it's going to be meaningful for a lot of people. So that's all I have today. Is there anything else you have there today? Leah, let's close with your office hours.
Right. I just want to remind the community that I hold weekly casual office hours, just a drop-in session via Zoom. If you go to my website, joepato.org, it'll have details on how to join the session. Hour long. Some weeks I have nobody. Other weeks I have a couple people who drop in, and you can chat. You can also schedule an appointment with me directly by phone for a phone call or a Zoom session if you have an issue that you want to talk about that you want to have as a private discussion.
Very good. Well, look, from what I'm seeing, it's about to start. So
Wednesday.
Today's
right.
Thursday.
Right.
See, I'm losing track of the days.
You scared me for a second.
I'm still on yesterday's schedule. We've been working around the clock to get our publication ready to go to press. So it's been, I'm still thinking it's Wednesday for some reason. Anyway, well, sorry for that. I don't mean to put a scare into you. So,
No
but I
problem.
do encourage people to take the time to call because, you know, if nothing else, if people are feeling a little stressed and out of sorts by all of this, and they're looking for, you know, some, not so much advice and counsel, but some direction on where they can go to find the help they need. You know, any little bit helps. And you've always been there for people, you know, since well before you were a member of the Board of Selectmen, but you've always been very supportive and helpful to people. So it's, I encourage people to take advantage of this opportunity to reach out to you. So with that, I'll wish you a great afternoon, and please give our regards to Jerry. And we hope that you guys will continue to stay healthy and safe. And you know, we'll just take it a day at a time. So again, thank you so much, and enjoy the Patriots Day weekend. Hopefully, you'll find some virtual activity.
Right, and the board is actually taking a holiday. We are not meeting Monday night, which was the Patriots Day holiday, but otherwise we've been meeting every week.
Great.
And thank you for this opportunity, and stay healthy, you and your family and all.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it very much.